Good afternoon. This is Mike Teese with Keller Williams Citywide, coming to you on November the 20th, 2019. I wanted to talk to you about a form that I get a lot of questions on from people in productivity, and that is the form Amendment to the Purchase Agreement, Removal of Contingencies. And basically the question is like, I've done my inspection, and these people want to ask for a couple things. What do I need to do? Is there a form for that? Well, absolutely there's a form for that. And once again, it's the Amendment to the Purchase Agreement, Removal of Contingencies. So let's use the example that you're doing a general home inspection and a radon inspection as part of your purchase agreement. And obviously the sellers, they agree to that. And so let's talk about a perfect world. You do the radon testing, you do the general home inspection, and your buyer is happy as can be and is like, I don't care about anything, I'm accepting the property as is. This form then identifies the date of the contract, identifies the address, identifies the buyer and the seller, and then it gives you the opportunity to remove that inspection. In the example that I just gave, they would check the boxes removed for the general home inspection and the radon. The buyer would then sign it, and then the seller would then countersign it. We're good to go. We're moving forward. So that's the perfect world. Wish that happened more often than it does, but that's a situation that is a great situation for you and the seller. Let's turn that, and let's say that, for instance, they do the general home inspection, they do the radon, and the radon comes back high, and the general home inspection has a couple of issues, and your buyer says, I really would like them to fix that, let's just say that double tap in the electrical box. I'd really like them to have an electrician come out and do that, and the radon came back high. I'd like them to put in a radon mitigation system. So in that situation, you're going to use the form the exact same way from the standpoint of the top part of it, identifying the players, the date of the contract, the address, and then you're going to check the boxes removed subject to the conditions listed below for both the general home inspection and the radon. And then you go a little bit further down, about halfway through the form, there's a box that says conditions. And then it also says attach additional pages if necessary. And so at that point, you could then itemize what it is that you want done. Number one, buyer requests seller fixes the double tap in the electrical panel. And then number two, buyer requests that the seller installs a radon mitigation system. And then your buyer signs it, and then we present it to the seller. And then in these situations, everything is mutually agreed upon. So this seller could respond and go, I'm not fixing anything. You're buying it as is. If you don't like it, then if you want to remove yourself from the transaction, that's fine. But I'm not fixing anything. And then your buyer has to decide if they're good with that. He could say, I'll do the radon. I'm not going to do the electric. I'll do both of them. Whatever. But at some point you come to a meeting of minds and you make sure that the document is executed correctly. For my example, let's just say I'll fix the electrical double tap. I will do the radon mitigation system. They're going to sign it, and now you have a document that states that this is what your buyer said they wanted to have completed, and then the seller is signing it saying, I'm going to complete it. So that's a situation with the removal of contingencies and how to use that. Our contract also has some very specific language and deadlines as far as when you have to have this document done. Everything in our business is done in writing, okay? Don't rely on the words of another agent or the words of another agent representing what the seller had said. We need to do things in writing. You need to protect your client, and the one thing to protect them with is doing things in writing at the right time in the right way. Appreciate your time. This is Mike Teese. Thank you.